quick, it's Nathan! He's been shot!
He's gone.
We just watched the season 7 finale of When Calls the Heart. And if I may, season 6 ended with Lucas got the dance, Nathan got the glance. Season 7, on the other hand, Nathan got the hug, Lucas was left with the shrug.
Oh, I was wondering what you're gonna rhyme with.
I want to know your immediate reactions to when you first saw what was going to happen in this season 7 finale.
The first time I read it, I was like, do I get shot? I mean, I think that at the beginning when we were writing this, or when some of the drafts were coming in, they hadn't fully made up their mind on what was going to happen, who was going to get, take the bullet. So I really didn't know what was going on. So I was very curious to see how that last minute was going to play out. What about you guys?
Well, I thought that Lucas was going to shoot Nathan. That we get to some kind of situation where, whether it was accidental or maybe a little bit on purpose.
I saw you deliver that script that you're like, hey guys, just take a look at this. I worked
just an
on
idea
something last night. Just roll with it if you want.
Erin, as the EP, do you have a say in the screenwriting and the outcome of how these episodes all go?
Well, I'm definitely a part of that creative process. I'm certainly not the final decision maker. So, for all of you Hardys who are tweeting at me about the mistakes that I'm making, give me a break. No, but I am. I mean, we had a lot of conversations about how we wanted the season to end, and should Lucas see this moment, or should this moment happen, and how should it happen? And I think it's kind of nice that we were able to flip things from the way we ended last season 6. Not that it's exactly the same. I like what you went with. You said hug and shrug.
Yes.
I might say Nathan got the embrace, but Lucas had the
won the race.
Oh!
That was quick.
So quick.
Did you say he had the puppy face?
Yeah.
No.
And Kevin, you showed us a great puppy face at the end of season 6.
That was my audition for the show. That's all they asked. They're like, hey, can you just come in and look longingly at the camera? you got the pot, kid.
Chris, I want to ask you, Lucas hustled this season. He put in so much work to respectfully court Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. So I want to know what was going through Lucas's mind as he had to watch Elizabeth embrace Nathan, like very emotionally.
I feel like Lucas felt pretty confident by the end. He thought he had made some pretty great strides and that everything was sort of falling into place the way that he wanted. So I feel like when he witnesses that embrace, it sort of takes his feet up from under him, because he didn't realize that those ties were that strong. I think he now has to rethink his whole situation.
Okay. And then conversely, Kevin, for Nathan to finally get a moment of connection with Elizabeth, what was that like?
I think Nathan is overjoyed, but at the same time, just under the circumstances, he coming back into the town, his mind is clearly on that he lost, a partner or another Mountie, and we don't know, moving forward, maybe this is the first time that he's ever lost somebody under his watch. So the embrace was great. And I mean, I think what's proven is that there is something between those two characters, Nathan and Elizabeth, but it is under sad circumstances. Like, I think as Nathan was upset with her and up in the mountain, they got in a fight, and basically what was fueling that was that he just didn't want her to get hurt, so he'd never see her again. That's what I thought Nathan was saying. He didn't want to lose her. So he yelled at her, or he exploded. I don't know if he yelled, he exploded. He did not yell. He might have raised his voice a little, but he was he was scared that he would never see her again. I think that's where that came from too, with Elizabeth embracing him, that she was afraid that, you know, she'd never see Nathan again. And I think those feelings will lead to something, or, you know, that definitely it's going to grow and move forward. And maybe Nathan will be able to, you know, communicate a little bit better now that, I don't know, they've been kind of tested in this way. But
I mean, look, you and I spoke on set in September, and you very playfully and lovingly said something to the effect of, Nathan needs to learn how to talk to girls.
Yeah, Nathan is bad at talking to girls.
Well, I need to know how.
And throughout the season, I just kept rooting for him. And he just, I don't know, for whatever reason, he didn't feel confident enough to ask Elizabeth out. We finally got to see that happen in the season 7 finale.
Would you like to get dinner with me? When I get back, maybe at the cafe?
What took so long?
Well, I think those are questions for the future that I think it would be great to dive into. Why Nathan is like this? Why either maybe he's had maybe he lost somebody in the past. Maybe, what did happen to him? Why is he so tongue-tied when it comes to women? But especially Elizabeth. Not so much like he's not, you know, running away from every girl in Hope Valley, but something with Elizabeth. You know, maybe there's a guilt thing there with that's, you know, she was married to a Mountie, and maybe he feels like it's wrong. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. These are questions I look forward to answering, or to diving deeper in if the story continues.
Elizabeth, what were you thinking?
I was thinking that I heard Emily and I wasn't just going to leave her out there.
I told you I would get her.
But you didn't. I did.
With my help.
If I hadn't have gotten to her, she might have died.
You both could have died.
Kevin, you had a great scene with Erin this season where you got to be pretty feisty. And I want to know, being the close friends that you are, what was it like having a heated scene like that?
What was it like yelling at Erin? Surprisingly easy. I don't know. It just kind of came to me. No, I think, you know, it's just, Erin and I talked about that scene, and we were fighting to make it a bit more punchier. It's earned. You know, as you know, abrasive as Nathan might have been, he's been penting up, you know, these feelings, jealousy for Lucas, but also fear that he might have lost her, or even like his niece as well. Fear of losing her, but also maybe her letting him down by going out there, and it just made it more real to me. It felt like, this would be the timeline of this. He should go off and be alone with his thoughts right now and realize that he made a mistake. And personally, I have no desire to play anybody who is perfect, or like I think we should all be. I think we tune in to watch somebody make a mistake. You know, try, fail, and then try again, fail. You know, fail better, try, whatever that saying is.
So please, in the future, just let me do my job.
Erin, what was it like being on the receiving end of Nathan's heated, angry passion?
Oh, I think Elizabeth was just ready for him to say what he was actually thinking. It's like, okay, I mean, I get it, buddy. You're clearly upset, and I don't totally blame you. I mean, I understand, but can you not be such a tool about it? It was a little harsh, and I think it was played perfectly. But for Elizabeth, it was a moment of, what is really going on here?
But life is too short not to appreciate the good things when they happen. Can you meet me tonight in the library?
Okay, so let's flip and talk a little bit about Lucas and Elizabeth now. Chris, reflect a little on this season and Elizabeth and Lucas's friendship possibly developing into something more.
Well, I think we've seen in season 7 that these two characters have a lot in common, and that they can challenge each other well, and that they bring positive sides out of each other out. So I think they made some great progress and great strides, just as respecting one another this season and appreciating one another. So I'm looking forward to seeing what could come ahead.
I mean, what do you hope happens next?
I wouldn't mind having some more conflict because that's fun to play with. So I would like for things to get messy before anything gets better, and whatever that means. If something messy can happen in the future, that it has something to do with Lucas's character and personality, and we can kind of dabble in a little bit of darkness or mystery or suspicion or something again.
Is that why you're growing out the?
Yeah. I'm basically
Your evil
trying
mustache?
to become Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
You'll be prepared.
Yeah.
And I might even gently brush your hand as I pass you your glass. And hold your gaze for longer than normal.
And I would think that was very sweet.
Candles in the library, that big date scene. Fans lost their marbles. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, yes, Lucas, romance, thank you. That was, I think that was the most romance we saw all season. Like, I almost felt like I was part of something I shouldn't be watching.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the dialogue, like the way that was scripted, it was a sexy When Calls the Heart moment. How did it feel to film something like that?
Hazardous.
Why?
Yeah, was there a burn permit for those?
I don't think so.
Are those candles, Lucas? I'll have to look into that. I don't know. I guess fire safety is a big joke to Lucas.
Wow, something Nathan takes seriously, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have that many candles. First of all, he completely must have cleared Ned Yost out at the Mercantile of candles, but the entire stock, all the inventory, and then decides to light them all in a room filled with paper.
Right.
A wooden room. A wooden room filled with paper.
Erin, how did it feel for Elizabeth to finally show the most, I would say, like, vulnerability romantically?
Oh, I think the whole season, Elizabeth has really been holding her feelings close. She's felt that openness, but hasn't really been willing to put herself out there. And so in the season finale, we get to see her really starting to play with the idea of being ready for more romance in her life. And yeah, that was a particularly sweet scene, very, very charming, and maybe even a little sneaky of Lucas, not in a bad way, to frame it that he knows it's not a date, but we can still play make-believe, or what it might be like if it was a date. So yeah, it was a very, very sweet and charming moment.
I also personally really enjoyed that scene was the final scene we shot in season 7.
Yes.
And so Erin and I got to finish, just finish everything off, but with basically toasting a bottle of bubbles. So it was a lovely way to finish the season.
And Chris was lovely enough to bring in some very lovely real bubbles for us to toast with. So.
Oh, so that was.
Yeah, that's the saber one, right? That he sabered the, yeah.
Which Erin gifted me for my birthday. And I thought, thank you for that saber. It's actually just right over here.
Oh, good.
These are fun behind the scenes nuggets. I was going to ask was, I think fans really love how close, especially the three of you are. You guys are just always like laughing and joking with one another. What is it like being such good friends like you guys are, and then having to go film a romantic scene like that? Do you ever crack up in the middle of a take, or do you have conversations before you go in and film those?
I mean, it's not like really had to film anything too
risque,
passionate, or so it's not really weird. And I don't think it will be weird. We're all professionals, but it is so nice to get to work with people that I genuinely like. And when we were casting these guys, we got to spend very limited time with them, and so it's pretty miraculous that you're both such awesome guys and you fit into the cast so seamlessly. And if anything, I really think you've just elevated it, and we're all really, really happy that you're a part of the When Calls the Heart family. And I'm thrilled that I get to call you guys friends. So
very kind, Erin. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Were there ever conversations in the writer's room of possibly sneaking a kiss in?
Not to my knowledge, and I would have said hard no.
Tell me why.
It's been a slow burn with both of these guys, and I don't think that I don't think it would have made sense to have a kiss in this season. Certainly not before Elizabeth had kind of made up her mind a little bit more. Yeah, she can barely call a date. And she's very rigid about, no, this is as friends, and I'll go with you to Union City, but don't get any ideas. And I think she's sort of wanting to encourage Nathan, but when he finally does ask her out, she can't even say yes. I mean, with both of these guys, it's just this sense of excitement, but trepidation. So everything is moving very slowly.
Okay, well, you bring up Nathan did finally ask Elizabeth out, but before she could even respond, the whole gunshot debacle happened. So I want to know, Erin, do we have an answer? Are Elizabeth and Nathan going to dinner at the cafe?
I mean, I really feel like we're going to have to tune in season 8.
Okay, so are congratulations in order? Can we confirm that you guys are coming back for season 8?
Yes, please congratulate us.
Yay! Congratulations.
Betty.
It is music to our ears as fans, because I think I have told you this before, Erin, and I truly believe it. I think the show is in its prime. You guys are doing such incredible storytelling. The acting is phenomenal. You guys keep us hooked every Sunday night, just like waiting for more and more with these beloved characters. What can we expect in season 8?
Luckily, that's not my job. I'm not writing it, but I hope more of the same, and that we'll get to continue to deepen these relationships and storylines. And I'm also so excited because I feel like we still have a lot more stories to tell. Our cast and crew are some of my best friends, and so I'm really looking forward to getting to spend more 16-hour days together, or whatever they are.
I mean, Chris and Kevin, you guys joined the party in season 6. What does it mean to know that you're now going into your 3rd season with the show?
Well, we didn't sink the ship, so that feels pretty good. I think it's amazing to be part of something that is, moved and touched so many people. It's been, like Erin said, coming on to a cast that you really genuinely like, and it really is. It's just, it doesn't even feel like work. So I'm very happy to keep going with this story and this cast.
How do you feel, Chris?
Well, I'm very thankful and grateful for anybody watching this who might think that we have a very sort of easy job. It's not, and we never have security for more than 1 year at a time. We'll be picked up for 1 season, and then we'll have to see. So if you can imagine having a job where every year it resets and you don't know if you have a job the next year, that can take a mental toll. So for me personally, it's just I'm very grateful to be able to have a job again this year at some point, or whenever we're able to with COVID. But I'm just very appreciative. And on the other side of that, I'm excited because like Kevin said, it doesn't feel like work. I think everybody on this show gets along very well. And so you're really just going to hang out with your friends and do something that we all really love to do. It's all a passion of ours, and I think that's why we're in this business. So yeah, I'm thrilled.
Can I ask, how is the ramifications of the coronavirus? How will that affect production? Because I know you guys typically start like at the end of summer. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I think we're just kind of taking things one day at a time as more and more information is coming to us. So I mean, the goal is to get back to Hope Valley and get back to work as soon as we can, as soon as we safely can. But obviously safety is going to be the key word there.
A lot of Hardys have expressed interest in this, and I am one of them. I don't know if this is within your control, but have you ever considered doing more than 10 episodes a season? It flies by too quickly, and I feel like just as things start bubbling up, it's like we're here at the finale and we want more. Is that something that you can make happen?
We've talked about it. We usually stick to a 10-episode season with the 2-hour Christmas movie. But if that's something that's important to the fans and our viewers, I would encourage everyone to reach out to Hallmark and let them know, because they need to hear from the fans.
I'd be for it, absolutely.
Yeah, and there was talk about it. I've heard the murmurs about it on set that adding a few more episodes. I think it's great.